Hello and welcome. Today we're working in managerial accounting, our full course on the capital budgeting chapter, and this is the very beginning problem on capital budgeting. We're going to do a payback period and show you how it works and what the idea is in payback period. If you're new, my name is Jeff from Finally Learn, and I teach a lot of accounting, a lot of financial skills, so please like, comment, subscribe, and let's get started with this problem. We've got the DC company is considering investing in a long-term project. They can pick the alpha or the summa. And so what capital budgeting is you're going to invest in a project, maybe buy machinery, equipment, you're doing some kind of extra capital campaign in terms of marketing cost or whatever, and you expect to have benefit over several years, 3 or 4, 5, 6 years, or even longer. So we have the alpha project. It's going to cost us $160,000 in year 0, and then it's going to benefit over time, and the benefits go down a little bit. Well, summa is $240,000, and then the benefits slowly rise over 6 years. So here's our question. We want to calculate the payback for both projects. So here's what we're going to do for alpha, and the cash outflow for year 0 is negative. We put that as a negative number. So I'm just going to put the cash flows for alpha here. And we need a column for cumulative cash flows. All the payback does is says, look, how long will it take for us to get our $160,000 back? So let's do the cumulative cash flow. So year 0, it starts at negative $160,000, and then 160 plus the 60 is going to increase to a negative $100,000, right? Still a negative. And then add the 50, it's going to increase to negative $50,000. And then the 40, so we're down to a $10,000 cumulative cash flow. Now we want to stop it at 0 cumulative cash flow. Well, how much cash do we need out of that $30,000? We're going to need, I'm going to make it negative, we're going to need $10,000 divided by the 30. So we're going to say that's 0.33 for a year. So we have 3 full years and then a third of the year into year 4. So if you want to think of it this way, we've got 1 full year, 1 full year, 1 full year, and then a third of a year. So our payback period is going to be 3.33, and that's our answer, 3.33. And here's the secret. What you want to do is you want to take the full year and then the very last year. We're going to assume that the cash happens evenly over the time period, over the year. So we only need $10,000 to make this cumulative cash flow pay back, right? Make it 0. And so then 10 out of 30, 10,000 out of 30,000 is a third of a year. So our answer is 3.33. Now, we would love for payback to be shorter rather than longer. So let's look at the next one, the summa. We have $240,000, and we have the 6 years here. We got $40,000, $50,000, so on. So we're going to do the same calculation. So we're going to start with negative $240, and we're going to take the $240 plus the 40. So we're increasing it down to a negative $200, and then the 50, and then the 60, and then the 70, and so we're down to negative 20. So all we need to get to 0 is 20,000. So we're going to say the 20,000, okay, we'll make it positive by putting a negative in front of that negative number, divided by 80,000 is going to be a quarter of a year. So what do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4 years. So our answer is 4 1/4, 4.25 is our payback period. So if everything was equal, then we would prefer the 3.3 years rather than the 4.25. We're going to use this same cash flow to calculate net present value and internal rate of return, so we can actually figure out which one's a better investment, the alpha or the summa. Now, payback is easy to calculate. It's easy to understand. You get your money back in 3.3 years. But what are some negatives about the payback period? Well, it does not include time value of money, and it does not include anything past the payback period. Here it doesn't include the extra year, 1/3 of a year in year 4 and year 5, year 6. This one does not include anything in year 6. It includes only part of the year 5. So payback period is easy to calculate, but it's not really a preferred method. It's easy to calculate and easy to understand, but is not as good as our next method, net present value and internal rate of return.